Good morning, Lake Braddock. Today is Thursday, February 5th, and it is a gold even day.
Welcome to the Morning Brew's February News Show. This month, we will be covering a variety of stories, from student features to Lake Braddock Instagram accounts. Let's get the news brewing. Have you ever come across the murals at Lake Braddock and wondered why they're there? Meet senior Jessica Hoskins and follow her journey and inspiration for the murals for her Eagle Scout project.
Jessica Hoskin, a senior here at Lake Braddock, had the inspiration to make our school a better place for her Eagle Scout project. How did she do this? Hand-painted murals around the school.
I'm a part of the inaugural class of female Eagle Scouts, which less than 1,000 girls achieved in the time frame available. A lot of the murals that I created were based off some interests of mine, so I'm really enthusiastic about music, about lots of color, about STEM, science and engineering, and all that sort of stuff. And of course Scouts, which is why I did the project.
During the painting process, Jessica had help from friends and family. One of her main supporters was her sister Jenny.
Being an Eagle Scout to me means that I'm a leader and a role model in my community, and that I hold myself to a higher standard so I can always do the best that I'm possible to do. Color just adds a lot to the hallways. When you're walking by, you don't just see a bunch of blank white walls, you see the inspiring quotes and images.
At other schools, I had seen a lot of different murals and all this color on the wall, and at Lake Braddock, I hadn't seen anything like that. I talked to someone about how to make this plausible and realistic goal, and then I got to work. So every week I would come in from 3 to 8 hours and paint with 3 other people.
The murals were roughly 400 hours of volunteer work, and I definitely think they were worth it because I can see how much people light up when they see the murals and how much of a difference they make in the school.
This has been Lillian Markowsko, Becca French, and Michael Bean signing off with the Morning Brew.
Recently, Lake Braddock students have been following a new TikTok trend that involves creating Instagram accounts showcasing different aspects of student life at Lake Braddock. The Morning Brew investigates student opinions on this new trend and the existing accounts.
TikTok, a popular social media app used by millions of teenagers, has presented many trends at high schools, like devious looks and other challenges. The most recent TikTok trend encourages students to make Instagram accounts for their school about different topics like sleeping, mask wearing, bad posture, parking, and more. Students submit photos relating to the theme of the account, and the account owner posts them. How do students at Lake Braddock feel about this trend and pictures of them being posted online?
My favorite account is probably like the LBSS sleeping account. It is like people like, sometimes they're not actually sleeping, they just do funny poses just for like to be posted.
My favorite Instagram account is the Masked Police because I like seeing just people's reactions in the comment section. I think that all the accounts are pretty funny but also a little bit ridiculous, and some people can take them too serious. I've been posted on the Lake Braddock Masked Police Instagram account. I think it's pretty funny and I don't really mind it at all. But yeah, I think the sleep account is kind of weird because it's just taking pictures of people sleeping, so that's a little bit weird. But I don't know. I think since we're in a public school, in a public setting, it's not too bad.
The Instagram accounts, man, it's like, I think it's funny that people just want to make random accounts just to call people out. I think that's pretty cool. The Mask Police, because it just calls everybody out. Because all the teachers are like, make sure you're wearing your mask and stuff. So it's a reminder to people just to wear your mask, be safe, care about everybody else. school is always going to be school. Social media is going to be social media, you know. It's always going to keep on going. People can make trends do whatever they want, but it's just up to you to do what you have to do.
This has been Brian Gonzalez, Michaela Brennan, and Cameron Tobin with The Morning Brew.
If you watched Louis Vuitton's fashion show in Miami in December 2021, you may have seen a familiar face. Here's a closer look at senior Ibrahim Cissé's experience walking at the show and his plans for modeling in the future.
Did you know Lake Braddock has its very own male model? We talked to senior Ibrahim Cissé about his start and experience walking in the Miami Louis Vuitton runway.
I got a call from my manager, and he says Louis Vuitton confirmed me and they wanted me to walk the runway at Miami.
So when you got there, what did you do?
A lot of rehearsing and actually 5 hours rehearsing, and we got basically full everything, and we just gotta meet people like me with interesting background story to tell and just to make friends.
What was it like working with the other models there too?
They are just like me. They are like shy little kids and trying to do something that they can feel safe and feel comfortable.
Do you plan to continue modeling in the future?
This February, I don't know. If the COVID-19 pandemic don't have a lot of cases, I may or may not go to New York Fashion Week.
This has been Stokely Teague, Cade Daniels, and Ryan Austin with The Morning Brew.
In an effort to decrease student tardiness, Lake Braddock administration has implemented a new tardy sweep policy. The Morning Brew investigates what this new policy means for students.
Tardy sweeps are a new controversial attendance procedure that the Lake Braddock administration has begun to randomly enforce during class transition periods. This new procedure has been compared by some concerned parents and students to a lockdown, in the sense that all teachers are instructed to lock their doors to prevent anyone from entering or leaving the classroom. We reached out to admin to learn more about tardy sweeps.
So when we do a tardy sweep and when the bell rings, we instruct teachers to close their doors. And if there are any students in the hallways, to report to one of the laptop stations that is set up. And then they have to fill out a Google form, which we then review, and they get a pass to class, and then they're marked tardy in SIS. Yes, many other schools do tardy sweeps, and it is successful because then the precedent is set that you need to be in class when the bell rings, and that instructional time is very important.
What are the punishments for accumulating tardies at Lake Braddock?
It's progressive, so it starts with a warning, and then you could get an after-school detention or a lunch detention. We communicate with families and parents and students regarding the progressive discipline so that hopefully we fix the behavior and not continue to impose disciplinary action.
Going forward, tardy sweeps have proved to be a complicated topic in Lake Braddock student life. You might think that after a couple weeks, this new procedure would begin to integrate into the everydayness of students' and parents' lives, but there are still many concerns and questions left unanswered.
LB Superfan, Miss Kathy, is a longtime supporter of the Lake Braddock sports program. From managing the basketball team to supporting players on the sideline, let's take a further look into how Miss Kathy got involved with Lake Braddock sports and what impact she has made on the athletes.
If you cheer from start to finish in the second half, if the band comes down with the drums and dance, I will dance for you. But you gotta give me 2 full quarters of cheering.
Most students may know Miss Kathy's familiar face and her positive energy and spirit on the sidelines, but no one knows how she got involved with sports at Lake Braddock. Let's take a look at her story and how much Miss Kathy means to the Lake Braddock community.
The first year that I came here, which was 2001, she was basically our manager, statistician, help her out that for the basketball team. She's been here for 20 years. She's great. She's a house of fire every time. She's in the locker room cheering with the guys before the game, and after a victory, she's the first one out there cheering like crazy, high-fiving the guys and going crazy. My favorite thing about her is I think she's the hardest working person in the building. And I say that students, teachers, administrators. I think there's no one that works harder than her. It's just great because whenever we have practice, whenever we have a game, it doesn't matter if it's a Saturday, at night, it could be in the morning. I'll be there.
You might think that Miss Kathy has kids at Lake Braddock, but in reality, she has stayed in the Lake Braddock community because she was a Bruin herself and always will be.
I got involved in Lake Braddock sports because, back in the day when my brothers were here, my brothers played. I had a really dear neighbor who was doing selling football tickets. And one night she needed help, and I was already coming to the football games on Friday nights, and so she needed help one night when they were short a person, for football, and so I came in and helped just selling tickets, and I've been here ever since. I'm the youngest in my family, and I always wanted to express myself and really never got a chance to, so a lot of times I get to do that here. I can express myself here, and it just comes from a natural, just wanting to see these kids do really well.
Her spirit means a lot to us because she comes to every event, whether it's football, basketball, or baseball. She's always cheering and starting chants for the hype squad. And it just means a lot to if you play the sport and to the fans that come.
We love Kathy!
This is Grace, Yasmin, Olivia, and Eric signing off with the Morning Brew.
Now to sports reporter Kate Daniels with a winter sports wrap-up.
What's good, Lake Braddock? I'm Kay Daniels with your LB Sports Report. Varsity basketball improves to 13-3 as they beat Alexandria City on Monday. Miss Kathy and the boys look to welcome fans back versus a district rival at Woodson. The girls basketball team improved to 12-5 as they look to keep rolling on Friday versus Woodson. Lake Braddock Wrestling had a big weekend in the John Champ Cancer Classic as Abram Smith, Luke Yarnell, Spencer Charlesworth, and Ryan Matheny are all champions. The swim and dive team competed in districts this weekend, and the Bruins had a great showing. Good luck to our Bruins at regionals next week. Shout out to Elizabeth Rockefeller for achieving a first-place state qualifying score in the 1-meter dive. On Wednesday, the Washington football team announced their new team name. So welcome to the NFL, the Washington Commanders. That's all I got for you today, Lake Braddock. Be easy, LB.
And now to your teacher and senior happy days. If you see these teachers or seniors in the hall, be sure to wish them a happy, happy day.
Thanks for tuning in to our news show. The news is over.
And our cups are empty.
See you next time on The Morning Brew.